So good evening, ladies and gentlemen. So I can't believe that chat bar has just done that. Been sitting here the entire time and no problems whatsoever. So I will very quickly adjust it and then lock it off. So give me a second. So good evening, everyone. That should be it. So you'll be able to see it on screen now. There you go. All done. So let's click that over. Good evening. So you're allowed to start dropping your questions in whenever you like, and I'll start going through them. While I wait for the audience to form, I am a couple of minutes early, so I will do the plugs that are required. So workshops, I have one left for this year. However, that one is now sold out completely. But there is a waiting list in case anyone wants to cancel. Just jump onto Medium Charlie Kelly Facebook page and I will pick it up there and drop you on the waiting list. So if a cancellation comes, you'll be the first one to be messaged and then we can take it from there. Moving into the early part of next year, so January the 26th, it is workshop spaces, and March the 23rd, but that one's going to be slightly different. I'm going to do that one from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. So it's going to be a really, really long workshop, that one. And then as I do more live feeds, I will promote them as time goes on. Is everyone hearing me okay? Probably not, knowing me. I think it's coming through okay. Yeah, it's all good. So, and the mentorship. So there's a few spaces left. This is a 10-weekend program over the course of the year. So it'll be a Saturday, Sunday for 10 weekends. Dates and availability, again, go via my Facebook page to get more information on that, and I will ping it all across to you. So no problems there. I also have a special dem on the 29th of November, I think it is, in Folkestone, with a colleague of mine, Sheila French, at the Lees Cliff Theatre. You are welcome to jump onto their websites. That's the Lees Cliff Theatre in Folkestone, where you can purchase tickets for a special evening where me and Sheila will be connecting to the spirit world in a different kind of way. So if you're going, let me know, and we'll see. I'll see you there, no doubt. I don't know where I'm demming lately. I don't have all that information in front of me. The time is for you and your questions, if any questions. If not, it's a short live feed, and I'll just go off and do something else, like anything, PlayStation probably, have a chill out. So that's I'll flick over to the chat and we will see what's occurring there. So hi everyone. So Townie's Paycheck, hey everyone. Don't think I've seen you on the feed before. I have a question about evidential messages that you get as a medium. Fire away with your question. So what does it say? It hasn't come through yet. So we're waiting for Townie's Paycheck's question to come in. Hi to Switzerland. So I said hi back on text. So all good. How often do you get evidential messages? Okay, I'm not sure where that's leading. Every time I connect to the spirit world, so most evenings. This evening I'm not out demonstrating on a platform, but most evenings I am on a platform somewhere in the UK or Europe demonstrating mediumship. And every time I do a link, so I will do maybe 6 or 7 in an evening, I will get 6 or 7 evidential messages. So every time I connect, Towns Paycheck. Oh, cool. I'm glad you said that you were from Reddit. I left a little message there to say, tell me you're from Reddit. So that's cool. Welcome to the channel. So you found me on Reddit. Would you be able to identify the spirit that comes through, i.e. someone wants to connect with their grandmother and someone else comes through? You can do. It's a very good question, actually. Very good. A lot of the time we want to hear from someone, don't we? We want to. And so let's say, who have you used as the example there? Grandmother. You want to hear from grandmother, but you get there and it's not grandmother. And that may be that it's another grandmother or a grandfather. It's just the medium's mind has found that particular person. Maybe it's safer for them. I don't mean they're in any kind of harm, but I mean that they are very mindful and they don't want to get it wrong and they don't want to get it all messed up, so they go with the easier link, if that makes sense. Said non. I don't know how to pronounce your name, so I apologize. I really don't want to offend you. However, there are me in particular. I do communications to order. So if you wanted your grandmother, in my philosophy and my understanding of mediumship, that wherever you are, every single person of spirit are potentially there within the room with you, waiting for their voice to be had. Therefore, I will just go and get your grandmother. If you offered that up, you know, like I only want to hear from a grandmother, then that's what I'll do. I'll go and get grandmother and commence the reading from there. So, yeah. And it would be, so how would I identify that? It would be done through evidence. It would be her evidence. So let's say Nan was 75, 76 years old and, you know, she had a little bit of a difficult passing. However, that passing was actually a culmination of like flu-like symptoms and a degeneration. She was healthy up until that point, but she could never get rid of this lung issue, you know, this breathing or respiratory condition. And one thing led to another, and then very quickly she passes to the spirit world. That's evidence. That's something that can only resonate in that example to your grandmother, say, in that example. So everything will be done from an evidential value. It wouldn't be done with things like Nan's here, she loves you, she's a lovely lady. You know, maybe part of her evidence is that she's a lovely lady, but there will be factual evidence that should be offered forward also from an evidential medium. There are different kind of classifications on mediumship lately. Spiritual being a little bit of love and light, you know, kind of generic way of working, and others will give you names, addresses, and that sort of stuff. So I hope that answers you. Said non. I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm a terrible reader, by the way. Terrible. Hi, Boston. So welcome to the live feed. Nice to see you back. Thanks, Charlie. Evidential messages, those that can be kind of confirmed in our world, leave little room for skepticism. Do you have an anecdote that has changed the opinion of the hardline skeptic? The evidence should always do that, you know, and I'm not here to turn non-believers into believers. Consciously, you have to be looking for a God. Consciously, you have to be looking for an afterlife for you to even begin to try and accept spirit are there. We usually don't look for it before we lose something so dear to us. So my go-to answer for that would be like, believe or not, it makes no difference to me. But through my evidence, let my relationship with the spirit world do its talking, and that will always be of an evidential value. Everything that I am speaking about will be that of the story of the loved one that is coming through, whether that be one-to-one or whether that be on a public demonstration that it will always be evidence. Gotcha. So intention is key in connecting with who you want. Is that right? Evidence will identify. No worries about the name. Intention is absolutely key, and you've literally just said that you found my channel via Reddit today, and I put a little bit of work into Reddit this afternoon, but actually one of my latest videos is about the intention. So if you go through the video list, you'll find that where I speak about intention. So but evidence will always identify, always, because it's so unique to the individual. Blue Feather says, Charlie, can you touch on memories, as in messages begin as a memory and then flow into the message? It can be on memories. It can be on lots of different things, providing the story of the loved one is being unfolded. And if that is a time of memories, then maybe. Me personally, there are some communicators in the spirit world that I want to hear from, and some of them, the memories that I would want to come through, definitely. And others not so much on the memories. I just need to know that they're there. So each reading is kind of unique. There's no set format. We have to kind of leave the boundaries wide open to allow that limitless approach. And if the sitter requires memories, then I'm sure the spirit world know that, and they will start presenting memories. Other people will want hard facts and hard figures, and so that's what it will be presented from the spirit world. So but memories are a wonderful way to get the message going, definitely, and then leading into their finale as such. If you use a communication as an example, and some memories are of your mum that had a very difficult time in her life, and you know, her relationship broke down and she really struggled and she really couldn't find her feet, and it just so happens that you are going through that same journey yourself, then memories are going to lead like perfectly into the message where she can advise you from that side of life on what maybe you should be thinking about doing. They can't make you do anything, but they can certainly offer a different angle or a different idea which may prompt some healing or a new energy for you to move forward. So absolutely, memories can be a wonderful tool while in mediumship, definitely. Okay, so Sednon, another question is about how you physically feel when you connect or know you're receiving something. For me, I connect through energetic feeling as an empath, or seeing in my mind's eye. So there's a lot of terminology, spiritual terminology there, and there's a lot of people that kind of understand the terminology and some that don't. So receiving it as a feeling, like a physical feeling, is called clairsentience. And that is definitely, if you're developing mediumship, it will be one of your strongest senses. So absolutely. And then clairvoyantly, seeing it in the mind's eye, or using that space that we know as like an imagination where we can see things, it can happen there also. What I suggest is that allow all of them to work. Your sense of smell, your taste, your knowing, your feeling, your seeing, your hearing. And that way you're not going to kind of miss anything during the communication. So for me, they're all different, but very strongly, if I had to go to a couple in particular, it would definitely be clairsentience, the feeling, and clairvoyance, the seeing, because they're my go-to. But I always look out for the others as well. So which answers your next one, how do I experience it? One thing that I do while in the act of mediumship is I surrender to the connection, as you call it, Sednon. I surrender to that, and when my mind is in work gear, so as I shift my mind to work with the spirit world, then everything that comes into my mind is of that workspace. And therefore I will present it the best way that I can while I'm feeling that through the mind, with that blending. to the communicator. So I do as much as I possibly can when I can for that communicator. Thank you. I didn't get a chance to watch them all yet, but I am enjoying going through them. Good. I'm glad you're going through them. So don't forget to subscribe and click that bell. And that goes for all of you, not just Sednon. So and share it away. That will do me the world of good. So Towns Paycheck, if the spirit of the deceased talks in a different language, how is the communication? Can you convey complex thoughts and ideas? If yes, how do you do that? So energy is universal. Language is man-made. So they blend with my mind, and as they blend with my mind, that energy needs translating, and so it comes in its purity, but then it will translate through my mind. So the ideas and the thoughts, the very complex ones that you speak of, will just translate immediately into English. I do a lot of work in Europe, Spain, Italy, France, do a lot of, and Switzerland, do a lot of work there which will involve French and German, and I just have a translator, so it comes in purity, through the purity of spirit, through my mind, but I only know English, so I speak it in English, then I'll have a translator translating it for me from there. So it doesn't matter what language the deceased, as you call it, speaking, because I get it in their purity, it will just translate through my mind. I hope that answers your question there, Towns Paycheck. Good question though, I like that one. Justine Pinkney. Hi Charlie, I realise that personal development is key to our mediumship. Working hard on that, but confidence, not wanting to say the wrong thing, really gets in my way. Any suggestions? I can't be sure. Hold on. Let me just very quickly check. I think, I can't be sure, but I think, yeah, I uploaded a video today. I assume you haven't watched it yet. It's called Just Go For It. So you'll be able to watch that, and maybe that will give you the suggestions. Confidence is key. So intention is everything will help you. The video, intention is everything, followed by Just Go For It, will help you. And the confidence of not wanting to say the wrong thing really gets in the way, without causing offence in any way, and I really mean this. The self-important part within mediumship is what we know as ego. So that's not a negative word, it's positive and negative. But if we can address the ego part in it. Now, what I suggest people to do to get over that little hurdle is that the worst case scenario is that they'll say no. That's the worst case. And so you may as well get used to doing it and just going with it. And the more and more you do it and go with it, the more and more you get it right, because you learn through getting it wrong. So you've actually got to get it wrong to get it right. And that way you'll be a good voice for the spirit world, because they know that as it comes into your mind, they know categorically you're going to speak those words. And that way you'll learn your own database, you'll build a better relationship with the spirit world, and that way whenever you're working, and that's the discipline, you can only do it when you're working. So I'm working now for the spirit world, I'm going to speak what's going on in here, and then speak it, and that will help build confidence, especially when you start getting it right all of the time, will be good. But it's a good lesson to get it wrong. It's good to understand the feeling and the markers. And I tend to say to people, when you say it, feel how it felt. So if I said to you, do you like my green jumper today? There is something in that as I say it, that visually you can see it's orange, and yet you heard the word green. So there's a ripple that goes through that. And that's the subtlety of mediumship right there. So as I said green, you looked and you were immediately aware, like, whoa, that's definitely not green, that's orange. And so as you're speaking what you're getting from the spirit world, you will feel whether it's right or wrong. And as you're speaking that, you will learn to adjust. So when you know it's wrong, you can go, actually, hold on, I've got that wrong. Or you know that you are right through learning, if that makes sense. So give the videos a watch though. They will help you. It's called Intention is Everything, and just go for it. They should help you in that process. So Sednon says, makes sense. I'm also working on using different perspectives in energy work to see the same thing in a different way. I appreciate your answers. That's a very good way of developing actually. Mediumship. However, it sounds like you're trying to do a little bit more than mediumship, so well played. But a very good exercise to look at things in a different perspective. So see how it looked, and how did it feel, and how does it feel hearing it or tasting it. They're all different perspectives, but they should all give you the same answer on that one piece of information. So it's like a workout in a gym for your senses. So I may do a video on that. The spirit world uses my own memories first. Oh, absolutely, Blue Feather. So I may have answered your question wrong. Absolutely. So if I'm seeing my friend Robert in the spirit world, it might be that they're trying to get the name Robert across. However, it's not Robert that I'm speaking to. They just show me my friend. It may not be the name that I need to be talking about, but it's actually his personality that he had, because he was a little bit crazy and a little bit wild, a little bit extrovert. Then I may need to use his personality or character traits, and so they will show me my friend and how my friend was. So using your memories is one of those things that is absolutely key into doing it. It's like a shortcut key, you know. Like if I want to save something in Premiere Pro while I'm editing one of my videos, I can go to File, Save Project, and then click it, or I can do Command S, and it's saved. That Command S is the shortcut of the mind that the spirit world will use when using your own memories. So absolutely. Subscribed a long time ago. Cool. So nice to see. I am late. Lisa, you're late. Why are you late? So when you come into Boston to teach, you can hit me up on Facebook or Twitter, or I don't think you can contact me on YouTube. There may be an email, but if I have the people there, if I have enough there, Blue Feather, then I will see you in Boston. So absolutely. So it's not ruled out. If the numbers are there, then I will definitely make my way to Boston. So I can leave that one in your court, and we can talk it through and go from there. But we'll do that off of the live feed. No problem, Towns. My granddad was nasty. A medium told me he works with me in my healing because he needs the right to right the wrongs he done. Do spirit need us to help them like this? For me, it's a very good question actually. One that maybe gets overlooked a lot. I don't think spirit need humans to progress. I don't believe that. I think that's a very old way of thinking, a very old school manner. However, if that was comforting for you and that's a good thing for you, then there'd be no reason why they wouldn't be there to help you in the healing. Maybe they overlook and see what's going on with the healing. However, I don't believe they need you for their healing or for their progression. Yeah, I just don't see that working for me. But it's just my opinion. Just my opinion. Cool, check it out. Any experience with numbness in circle, like feeling the whole body become numb? So Blue Feather, I don't know what you're saying there. So just so I know what it is that you're saying, do you mean while your eyes are closed? So you're sitting and you're connecting to the spirit world, but your eyes are shut. I need that to answer your question about numbness. Welcome this evening, Ray. So good evening, Charlie. How do you help your students when they are giving a reading? Can you read the same energy as them? Or do you know by their statement that they are wrong or they are right? It's a little bit of both, if I'm honest, Ray. So as I don't know if you were on when I said, do you like my green jumper? When actually it's orange. So I can feel it. So as they say it, I will feel something's not right. However, my mind will shift to their energy, and because their energy is already connected to the spirit world, I just have to connect to those. So let me use my espresso cups, and I'm gonna have to quickly flip screen. So spirit world, student, they're already connected. So I just connect to the student, and I get the same link. I get the same link there. And the thing is, I won't see it in the way that they see it, because their mind is different. Their way of thinking is different. They're unique. So I will know where they need to adjust it, or where they need to look a little bit more, because I can see what they found, but I can't see exactly what it is that they're seeing. So I can guide them to another door. What's there? Ask this question, ask that question. So it's a little bit of all of that, Ray, to be honest. The main thing is that I'm in the energy. So whether I'm feeling it to be right or wrong, or I just go and look at the communicator they have and ask my own questions from there, if that makes sense. Okay. Hi, Stephanie. Would love a video on that. What was the video? The video on exercising the clairs, was that said on? Okay, hold on. Let me. I have done one already, but I'll do another one. Working on the clairs. So that's another video I've got to do. Good to hear, Ray. Things are looking up. So, curious about your personal practice. Do you do any ancestry work as part of your process or development? I don't, said none, only because I don't see the value in it. What I need to work on is my relationship with the spirit world. And so any kind of past life or any kind of ancestral link there doesn't hold value in the relationship that I'm developing with the spirit world. So that's like me trying to develop a relationship with your partner to understand you, when I may as well just understand you and develop a relationship with you. So that's why I haven't gone through that process, simply because it seems like I'm adding a middleman when I want the purity of that communication, if that makes sense. Thanks for answering. I couldn't understand why they would need our help to move on. Cheers for your thoughts. Exactly. Also, what exercises would you recommend for someone just starting out in terms of differentiating between imagination and evidence if you're working alone? So there is a video called Imagination, I think. So I will find it in a moment for you. Maybe it's Overthinking It. Overthinking It is the name of the video. Overthinking It. Development for yourself. Then what I recommend when working for yourself and with yourself and developing yourself is that for me, it's the best kind of training. You know, like it's good to go to someone that is accomplished in their field, not just because they say they're a medium, it means they're a medium or a psychic, you know, but actually accomplished in what they're doing. And so what I would do is, if you're going to develop on your own, I would make sure that you're attending like 3 or 4 workshops a year to make sure that you are hitting it correctly, because you don't want to fall into the the realms of delusional. And I was very, very concerned about that in my own development. So that's what I did. I made sure I'd done 3 or 4 decent workshops with decent tutors over the course of a year. And what I did was that I never just sort of went to the spirit world. I never just thought walking around my local supermarket and just like switch onto the spirit world. I wouldn't do that. I would set times and days to one side at the beginning of the week. So let's say I was going to sit for an hour on Monday night, a couple of hours on Wednesday night, and try and do an hour on Saturday night. Then within those moments that I had set aside, whatever come into my mind, I would acknowledge. So sometimes I would sit there and there would be nothing. And I accepted that I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. So maybe they're working on me, or maybe they're trying to get something through. However, my awareness is not picking it up. Then other days it would be things like I would have like a vision of colour, or I would feel a sense of colours. And then another day it might be on a mind journey, you know, like going through like a kind of a meditation, and through these meditations it would help me look at my emotions or situations or passing conditions. And gradually, as I sat, as the year went on, the scenario or the exercise that the spirit world were bringing me become so much more intense. And through this intensity, I would learn more and more in the hour or the 2 hours that I was giving them. Then I would go to the workshop maybe 3 or 4 times a year, and I would demonstrate my mediumship, and it was clear that it was really moving forward because of this discipline that I had. If I had some crazy ideas at midday tomorrow, and I'm not working for the spirit world, then it goes down to some crazy ideas. If however, I said at 8 p.m. tomorrow I'm going to sit for the spirit world, and I had some crazy weird ideas at 8 p.m, then I would put that to the spirit world. And very quickly I learned between the difference of imagination and the space that they use within the imagination. Very subtle, but I learned very quickly what the difference was. So I could walk that line of not being delusional, and making sure that the information I'm giving is correct. You won't see me just telling people about a guide or just giving readings in the street or anything like that. It's a very disciplined lifestyle that I'm leading in that sense. So hopefully that helps you, Sednon. Oh God, that jumps a lot. So no problem. Don't want to get you in trouble, Charlie, but if you could change anything in the current teaching methods by others, what would you change? And there is anything that you just don't agree with? That one's not actually going to get me in trouble, because all teachers are very, very different. And it seems to be a thing at the moment where people are trying to break people to rebuild people. And what that's basically saying is that what I'm going to do is I'm going to break your mediumship so it comes out the way that I want your mediumship to come out. And I think that maybe is slightly wrong. And so bear with me. What I mean is that if you are a medium in development, and there are 10 of you within the room, I do not want one of those 10 to be the same as the other 9 in the group. However, the quality and the standards should be the same. You know, it should be right up there, raise that bar. But by telling someone they can't do it clairaudiently, or telling someone they can't do it just through feeling, or you can't be an accomplished medium if you can't see things, is kind of making a pedestal that isn't right. Rather than telling them what they can't do or where they can't achieve or what they won't become, why not open up the boundaries of the limitless and give them something to strive for? You know, remove the idea of I can't get names, I can't see, I can't whatever, and allow it a space within the teaching for them to get it one day, because it's their consciousness that's got the boundary, it's got the restriction within the consciousness. And so me saying that to someone's kind of like reaffirming their restriction and not allowing the limitless potential that each individual has. And so I would like to see that in the teaching that's out there. I would also like to see direct and throw out mediumship covered in every classroom. I personally don't like, I want to come to the lady, I have your father here. I would rather it just be swapped round and do it like the risky way. You know, I have your father here, then followed by his evidence, and he tells me I'm with the lady down there. That's direct mediumship. The other way is, for me, is not mediumship. It's psychic first, then mediumship after. So into their energy, then to the spirit world, and then doing it. I'm drawn to the lady in her energy who joins me from the spirit world, a gentleman. I have your father here. That for me is being governed by the psych, by the medium in question. So that's what I would like to see in the classrooms. Yes, okay, so the same thing. Okay. Okay, so said non, I will do a video. I don't know where it's going to feature, but it will be within the next couple of weeks. So, do you think guides can be helpful in mediumship development? Do you think guides can be helpful in mediumship development, or can it be done without them just the same? That again, a very, very good question. I think it's the awareness of the guide. I don't think so. Guide is like, it's a term that is seriously overused, but in my understanding, it would be, I don't think it can be achieved without the guide or the team. Your awareness is either aware or not aware. Can you get the same results just by blending with the communicator? Absolutely, but there will be a guide or a team member, an angel, whatever terminology you want there, that will facilitate that. So absolutely, it's your awareness. Do you need a name? Do you need a face? Do you just need the awareness? Everyone is unique with their relationship. So absolutely, it can be done exactly the same. However, in my understanding, they will be there. It may just be their role to be absent, if that makes sense. Very helpful about setting a time aside. I'll try that, thanks. I have some ideas about a meditation can do to meet spirits on a bench I found on the astral. I've actually done a meditation on the videos on a bench. So maybe look at that, and you may have the same sort of ideas there. How does reading to order work? Would your team just stop the other energies coming through, or do you have to refuse it? So again, a great question. So let me quickly flick screen. So if that's the spirit world, and that's like groups of people, so that's family, that's all your friends, that's all your work colleagues, and that's all your pets. So let's say that. Then the spirit world don't stop, they're all there. The moment you enter the room, it's all there. I've just got to find the one that I need. I need that one, then I need the individual within that one to step forward. And then when I've done the communication, it will all come back to the one, the wholeness, the collective, and my attention will move away from the spirit world. So that's how it's done to order. Hope that helps. Yes, closed and starts in hands, forearms, eyes closed. Yes, okay. So it sounds to me, how am I going to demonstrate this one? I have no idea. So brace yourself, because I am quite the artist, you know. So I will try and give it some sort of understanding. So very, very simply, Me and my colleague Sheila use this quite a lot in our teaching now, because we do a lot with scientific research. You know, they wire us up and they research what our brains are doing, and we have discovered that if, I don't know if you can see this there. Oh, it's so awkward when it's reversed. There you go. So, blue feather, was it? Blue feather. So let me switch screen again. Blue feather. So this is your everyday motion, 27 megahertz. That's thoughts per second. So it's always going off in your mind. That's when you're thinking, very, very aware. And right down here is sleep. Like just under 4 is sleep. This area between 7 and 4 is trance, entrancement. And as your mind sort of makes its way round, you will lose body awareness. You will lose the awareness. And that's why you are maybe experiencing a numbness. So you're losing spatial awareness. To stop it, just take a breath, add an extra thought to the process, and your body awareness will come straight back. However, if you want to develop that, the Americans are known to call it channeling, and I don't like the term, so I'll only do it for the Americans here. We know it as entrancement or trance. But you're losing spatial awareness. So I'm not saying that you are channeling, and I'm not saying that you are doing trance, but you're making your way there, hence why you're losing spatial awareness in your body, hence why you're not feeling it anymore. Hope that makes sense. Just take an extra breath or add a thought process, and the feeling will come straight back. Town's Paycheck. Is there a big difference in energy levels when you do a reading in person or when you do it on the phone? I mean, the depth of connection is the same. It's kind of, me personally, I prefer to do it in person. Just me personally, you know. However, it can be achieved over Skype. It can be achieved on the telephone. It can be achieved. For me, it lacks something. There's something that's not quite fulfilled in some way for me. And that will be because it's just in person, you know. It's like us, isn't it? If here we are talking on YouTube chat. However, it would probably be a better conversation if you had my telephone number and you called me. Equally, it'd be even better if I just met you for a coffee and we went and had a coffee. So it's kind of the same thing, if that makes sense. So I think that makes sense. Ray's question above has been missed. So let me. How does the reading? Done that one. Done that one. No, I've done them. Okay. Have you ever experienced or heard about guides working on chakras when meditating with them to blend? Not for me, no. The chakras for me are already in play. They're already working. The intent of the mind for me to work will adjust what my body needs. Through that development, I know that my body needs to feel like this. So as my mind moves, my mind knows what I'm doing now. Therefore, if it is a chakra changing process, then it's happening automatically. That's the development that goes on behind the scenes. However, for me, it's not. I think we're just thinking too much about other things when I need to be thinking about the communication. If I'm worried about are my chakras at the right opening, or are they blending correctly, that's a thought that I'm taking up that the spirit world could be using, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. Lillian, hi Lillian. So Geneva, welcome Geneva to the room. And Tina from Australia. So welcome Tina from Australia. That makes quite sense. Cheers. No problem. Hi Jenny. I know you are very persistent when trying to give evidence and the recipient doesn't accept or remember an event or detail. So how long do you carry on until you decide whether to move on? You've seen me work, so that's maybe different for those people that haven't seen me work. If it's in my mind, then I will speak it. And if the recipient doesn't understand it or they don't remember the event or the detail, then maybe I have said it wrong. And so I don't believe that the spirit world are a world of intelligence, and they know that information needs to be coming through now. And so if it comes through and they don't know, then I have said it wrong. And so what I will do is I will repackage it or say it in another way. And that way the recipient, it's very, I honestly can't remember the last time someone didn't understand what I was talking about. And I don't mean that in an arrogant or egotistical way. I mean, they just seem to know what it is that I'm talking about. And it's not me. That's why it's their loved ones. So how long would I move on? Through development, I would try the repackage, to be honest with you. And I'm certain the repackage would work. However, if you're saying something like, I'm aware that you have lost a child. And if you haven't lost a child, then no matter how you repackage that, it's not going to work. So move on. You have to gauge it from the statement that has been given. And through the statements I give, I just repackage it. And so I wouldn't give a statement like, the spirit world are making me aware you've lost a child, if they hadn't lost a child. So it's very difficult to make a generic answer to that question, Ray, to be honest with you, because it completely depends on the uniqueness of the reading. So it depends what it is that you're trying to give off that will determine whether you need to move on or not. If it's a flat right no, then I would just move on, and you tried, you said what you needed to say, and moved on. I remember once I done one where I said, and I went direct to her. I do remember it very clearly as well. And I'd done the evidence of a gentleman that had passed quite young. And I remember going to the young lady. I said, he makes me aware that he's your father. You would understand the information that I've given you. And your father being in the spirit world. And she agreed with me. So I'd done a few more statements with what the communication was unfolding. And then he made me aware that his name was like John, say, but like everyone knew him as John. However, on his birth certificate, it was Patrick. And she said no. Now, it's like no matter how I repackage that, she's not going to accept that. My dad's name's John. You've gave me that. That's correct. However, I don't know why you're telling me my dad's real name was Patrick. I don't know why you would say that. And it just so happened to have an interval at this demonstration. And she run out to phone her mum to say, like, Dad had come through, but the medium said that his name was Patrick and we all called him John. And the mum was like, oh, no, actually, that's correct. That is right. Your dad's real name is Patrick. However, everyone knows him as John. And so evidently I'd done that, you know. But no matter what I said to that young lady, she was never going to accept it. So I had to move on. However, on further investigation, it turned out that I was right. And lucky for me, I had an interval that she could come back and tell me that I was right, which we don't usually get, certainly at church demonstrations. Okay, so Lillian, so where was that? Okay, if I would visit several mediums during the same period, would they all give quite similar messages? The likelihood is, yes, the likelihood. If you're working with, I don't know how to word that without getting in trouble, like accomplished media, experienced mediums, their connection's good and their evidence is good and so on and so forth. The message from the spirit world, if that was the whole of the spirit world, the message is always going to be what's relevant to your daily life now. So it may be that dad gives you a kick up the backside. However, your husband is doing it in an empathic way, in a loving way. Your mum's doing it in a stern way because that's the way your mum was. But the message is the same. It's just come from 3 different perspectives. So in answer to your question, I believe they should kind of be around the same theme, because that is what's going on in your world and your reality right now. Ray, why don't we see many trance mediums doing demos? Is it much different from what you do on stage, or any more difficult with a big audience? I've actually had this conversation with my colleague Sheila French, who actually Lillian does a lot of work with in Geneva. And trance mediumship's kind of like, it's slightly coming back into fashion right now. You start to see a lot more of it. They don't do the demonstrations in the way that we do it because the evidence is not so frequent. Now, what I mean by that is that we see a lot of trance mediums, especially on platforms like Facebook Live and maybe even YouTube. I haven't looked at it. But it's always like from some dude from planet Sirius, and their name's Zorg, and they're telling us how we're getting everything wrong. When in actual fact, the spirit world are a world of intelligence, and they would do it in an evidential way. So the trance would be of the highest caliber in the spoken word. The spirit world would never say, I want this and I want you to do that. And we see a lot of that on the Facebook Live trance and the YouTube trance. The spirit world are a collective. They're a greater intelligence, and therefore that intelligence should shine through. So I actually think there's a lack of quality in trance mediumship on the public level, and because of that lack of, over the years, it's taken a massive hit in its reputation, and the quality that we have now don't want to come out. They don't want to be in public. They don't want to line themselves up for the ridicule or the skepticism, especially when in trance. So we need safety because they're entranced. We need chair people around them to make sure nothing goes wrong from the audience perspective, from the audience point of view. So I think there are still demonstrations. And I know one that demonstrates quite regular, my colleague Sheila. However, it's usually out of the UK. I don't see much of it in the UK, simply because of this nonsense that we see with channeling and from some dude from some faraway galaxy that we can't evidentially prove. Therefore, the value of their spoken word is tarnished by the idea. Whereas if they had a spokes ambassador, a good speaker through trance, and come through with that label or title, it would be listened to a lot more freely. If that makes sense, mate. Are you able to see into your own future or read yourself? Absolutely, you definitely can. However, there is a massive detachment to self that has to be adhered to, because your wishes and wants will dilute that information. So the potential is certainly there. However, will you fully trust it? Will you believe it? Will you do it in a way another medium would have done it for you? Is open for debate. I mean, I don't know people that would listen to themselves. And again, it opens up the idea of delusional, doesn't it? I mean, I get some crazy messages from crazy people with their idea of the spirit world and what they are doing and what the spirit world think about me and my mediumship and that kind of stuff. I don't advise it, but the potential is there. The potential's there. How did your development involved in finding information? E.g., when you were starting out, you got a man's job, was a tradesman. How long until that information progressed into knowing specifics? And is that development meditation or practice readings? It's actually neither, Tina. It's the allowance of the mind. So the only thing practice does is it makes you comfortable. It makes you comfortable talking to a stranger. It lets you practice presentation and what that feeling was like. And what you do in that process is that you'll say a tradesman, and I know him to be a plumber. So through that process through the practicing, maybe. Through meditation, I personally use a specific meditation where I will have a corridor of doors, and behind each door will be a trade. So behind one would be an electrician, behind another would be a barrister, behind another would be a bricklayer, so on and so forth. And I would go in and I would feel what this felt like, with the understanding that the spirit world are giving me the experience behind the door. So it's a little bit more than a meditation, I believe. And then change that corridor for working to passing conditions and ailments and illnesses, and you can imagine how long you can spend in corridors within your mind. But it's actually understanding yourself, you know, like how many jobs have you had, and if you're someone that works in the public, what does that mean? Does that mean that you worked at McDonald's or you worked at a customer service or in retail? And so you can learn to break it up. But it's actually opening the conscious mind. And so if you are practicing 4 hours a day every day, but you are practicing the wrong idea or the restrictive idea, then you are only practicing to be restrictive. If you are practicing to open up the mind, then you're going to open up the mind. So for me, it's one of those things that meditation and practice readings, they can help. However, I think observation is the best tool in development. So sit for yourself, learn the emotions, then go out and watch someone else deliver it. And then if someone I'm aware that I have an airline pilot here. Look at the energy of how they did that. How did they find that? And then go home and practice what you believe that process is, to then you doing it. And by doing it, you'll open up your own consciousness to allow that kind of information to come through. So a good question, Tina, a good question. And maybe a video will be required on that one too. So how to get specifics. Cool, you'll see it in a couple of weeks, no doubt. So, P.S. you do a great job, and I really appreciate you being on here, helping beginners like me, bumping around, trying to figure this stuff out. Absolutely no problem. You are the reason I do this, and try and help wherever I possibly can. So you are more than welcome. So, and all you need to do to thank me is click subscribe. That's it. And it's not just for beginners. It's there's a lot of advanced mediums out there that could maybe try a few of these processes. That will get me in trouble. Who in the history of mediumship do you endorse as the authentic medium with extraordinary psychic powers? Estelle Roberts. For me, Estelle Roberts. So Google her. Absolutely amazing. Estelle Roberts. It was actually May Estelle Roberts, her name. Born 1889, passed in 1970. You will just Google her. It's amazing. She's got a book out as well. So I absolutely loved her style of mediumship. And it was so apt for the time as well. So cool. Unique, intuitive. So good evening. Karen N. Hi, Charlie. Hi, Carol. Paul says hi too. So hi, Karen and Paul. Thanks for joining us. Unique, intuitive. I went from hearing spirit loud and clear to very small voice. Have you experienced this before? Any reason why this could happen? Absolutely. What we're trying to do is we're trying to let me grab. I hate stepping off camera, but let me just step off camera and quickly grab a prop without losing my mic. So I hope I haven't left rubbish there. And I've got no. Oh, I do. Here we go. I've got all the props, mate. Got all the props. So can't even see me back on screen yet. What's going on? So, so what we have is I'll flick screen so I can see it. So we've got a bottle of fuel here, a bottle of fuel. And what happens is for you to hear it loud and clear takes up a lot of the spiritual reservoir that you have developed thus far. And then what happens in the process of development, what you're trying to do is that you don't need it loud and clear. You just need it slightly quieter now because you're aware of it. You've got it. And so what you do is that you use less fuel, giving you more fuel for more of the communication. So what we do in development is we actually highlight a subtlety of mediumship. And then what we try to do is in the process of developing is to make that subtlety really subtle again, because we've built faith and trust in that relationship that we're building, giving us more fuel to use for the other clairs and the other senses to go for longer in that process. Does that make sense? Unique, intuitive. I missed a few there, didn't I? Is there anything about your abilities that is unique from most other psychics or psychic mediums? Lillian, you're trying to cause trouble. Trying to cause trouble. I think we're all different. I think every single one of us are unique in every facet when mediumship is in question there. So my relationship with the spirit world is a unique relationship that I have developed over many years. So yes, so we are all completely different. We are all awesome in our own way. And what we have to do is we have to kind of adhere to the public idea of mediumship. So we have to make it presentable. And I think experience and development will make people stand out in their style of mediumship, because they've learned to present, they've learned to be comfortable, they've learned to have faith and trust, therefore making it look different to other people. And I need a massive thumbs up for how PC I did that, for how on the fence I stayed there. How can you recognize? Oh no, right, wait there, I've missed one. So I will get back to you. M. Crusko. Tina says, great advice. I will keep building up my reference library. That must take a long time, but I'm committed. It comes very, very quickly. So I wouldn't worry about it. I would enjoy it is what I would do. It's very, very difficult, and a lot of lessons I learned about self and about life during developing mediumship. So enjoy it, and that's the main thing. Embrace that of the spirit world, and time will fly by in absolutely no time. So M. Crusko. I don't know how to say that. Hi Charlie, how can we recognise if someone doing trance demo is faking or not? Very, very good question. I tend to, the problem is like, if I go for a trance dem and I look for the spirit world, then I will find the spirit world because there are people in the room. You know, there'll be recipients, there will be another person in the room. And so if I move my mind to find the spirit world, I will absolutely find it. So I can't use that to see if they're faking it or not. I can't use that because I look, I will find. So what I tend to do is I listen to the spoken word. What quality is coming through in the spoken word? And through that understanding, through the philosophy that I have learned about mediumship and the spirit world, I know that they will never say I want this, you should do that, and we and us. It's the collective. And everything's about the collective. It's about moving mankind forward, not one individual forward. So the quality of the spoken word is what I would judge my trance sitting on. I always try to go in completely open-minded, as I said, because if I look for the spirit world, I will find it. So it all comes down to how it feels while I'm sitting in the company of the spirit world and the words that they have chosen to use during that process. I wish there was a more technical answer I could give you there. However, I can't. Was there ever a time where you couldn't switch off from the energy, and how did you train and discipline your mind to overcome this? Absolutely. When you're new to it, it's like, I love this place. This is amazing. I want to embrace it. It's magical. And not only that, you want to share it with the world because it's look what I found. Look what I found, and I don't just need it. You can have it as well. So it's like, it's mental. It's really, really insane. But what happens is like, and we've all met them. We've all met people along our journey. And if you haven't, then I assure you that you will. We meet some very delusional people along the way. Some that are maybe mentally unstable in some capacity as well. And they'll be talking about guides, and the spirit world told me this to tell you, and the spirit world told me that to tell you. And that was just a discipline that I had to bring into my real world. And especially if you're going to be a voice or an ambassador of the spirit world. I don't ever want it to come back in years to come and sort of bite you on the backside because you were out in Tesco's doing a Teresa Caputo in public, you know, and just willy-nilly telling people that the spirit world are here and they're doing this, and I'm warning you about this and I'm warning you about that. So I made it very, very clear that if I'm going to do this, then we need to do it in a very disciplined manner. So when I'm at circle, or when I set that time aside, or when I'm at a workshop, or when I'm demonstrating. So when my mind moves to the spirit world, I trust absolutely everything that comes in, and it tends to be right. Just through my demonstrating, you will see that it tends to be right. However, that's because I'm not just standing in the kitchen doing the washing up, or I'm hoovering around in the front room or tidying up the garden and then just like willy-nilly looking for the spirit world. I kept these times and these disciplines very, very fixed. So I knew the difference between imagination stroke delusion and the spirit world. And trust me, you're going to meet some crazy people along the way. But that's part of it, mate. That's part of it. Jenny, can you give an exercise on hearing spirit clearly? I can actually. I can do it. I don't know if it will come out. So can you hear this? Someone quickly ping that at the bottom. Can you hear that? No one. Can't it? Oh, wait there. Yes, okay, so what about if... Let me quickly flick camera. I don't know if that's coming out, so we'll do that. So Jenny asks me, can you do an exercise on hearing spirit clearly? So listen up. So everyone, all of you in the room, listen up. Listen to this. Take a moment, take a breath. Now play that back in your mind. You can hear it. You can hear it clear as day. Yeah? That is the exercise. Practice that. So that is that. So you can hear it physical. Let me do it up here so you can see it on camera. You can hear it, see it. Now play it back, and that's it. Now take that into meditation. Now take that into sitting with the spirit world. Now take that into a reading, and that's how to do it. That's the exercise. It's really that easy, really. Okay, does it make... Okay, it does make, because when I first heard spirit, it came out of nowhere. Whereas now I have to really spend time in meditation and really focus more. Basically store up my energy. You can store up your energy or just know. So don't think that it's going to be hard work. Don't think that it's going to be difficult. Don't think that it's going to be loud or quiet. Just know that they're giving you it. Know it. And through that intention, whether you get it or not, you know it's there. And that's that. I know this is here. I know it's here. And so all I have to do is find it. So that could be over here. It could be over there. Not over there. Over there. Over there. It could be on top of that clock. It could be on top of that little oil burner thing there. It could be on the table. It could be under the table. It could be under this desk. It could be anywhere. I've just got to find it. So you know that it's there. Don't think, oh, this is going to be hard, or I've got to store up my energy. I've got to do this. I've got to do that. Just know that it's there. And now I've just got to find it. And through that exercise, through the process of just finding it, you'll find it freely. And when you find it freely, you'll hear it clearer, and you won't be burning loads of fuel thinking, am I getting it right? Am I doing it? Will they be there? Will I see them today? Will I hear them today? Just do it. Just, it's there. And that way, your readings will be more full, more in-depth, more evidential, more real, because you're using the energy in the right way. Have you ever been watching the news about a crime or a case and no information that could break the case? Absolutely. But I would imagine that when we get a case, I'm going to have to drink this water, you know. It looks ice cold and it looks absolutely delicious. So I'm going to have to pause you so you can't hear me gurgling. So just give me a moment. And you're back. It makes me wonder how many people ring in claiming to be psychic, claiming to be mediums. And the police must just get fed up with it, you know, like absolutely. They must get millions, thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people across the globe ringing in wanting to help. And so I just don't think it would be taken seriously. So if they approach me, then by all means I would look at the case and I would see what I could do. However, UK law doesn't allow us to work on a case and it be used in the court. So it's just, it wouldn't be allowed. What's the best part of your job as a medium? There's so many, if I'm honest, there's so many things that are good. The reason I started to be a medium was because I was so lost when I lost my loved ones, one in particular. When I lost one of my loved ones, it just, my world ended, it imploded, and the pain that I went through was just incredible. And if I can ease that by 0.1% for someone else, then that is why I did it. The more I've done mediumship, and the more I found the spirit world, and I've realized that it's there, and you know, evidentially it's there. It's there, and it's there for us all. This can enrich your life so much that it can make reality not seem surreal. That's probably educating people, letting them know that it's there. The drive that to sort of prove it is kind of like there, or was there. Now I know it's there. So I feel like, oh, I don't need to prove it. I don't need to. I know it's there. So my mind is sort of on the demonstrating of, look, I know it's there. Let me show you, and then I demonstrate and turn the mind of another into that same way of thinking is absolutely incredible. So yeah, that's probably, and I meet lots of people. I you know, it's certainly not monetary, you know, I don't make money out of it really, so it covers like fuel costs or stuff like that, but it's certainly not, it's not that, but yeah, probably helping. I mean, do you not feel really good when you help another person? I mean, like, I could go and buy myself a new jumper, say, and it will feel good. That'll feel nice. I like putting on a new hoodie, and it's a wonderful feeling. It smells new, and I can't wait to get a new one. You know, and it's like, that feels good, but it's very short-lived, isn't it? I mean, like, it goes in the wash, and then after that, you might hunt around for it for a couple of times, like, where's my new jumper? Where's my new jumper? But after a while, it becomes part of the rest, part of stuff. However, buying someone a new jumper that's homeless maybe, and knowing that can help them through a very cold night out there tonight, and seeing their face light up that they've got something new, and they may not have had anything new for years, and that feeling of their gratitude that they're showing you, that helping someone else is probably the best bit of the job. Is there a video that explains how your mind goes to the spirit world? Or is that something that is private that you keep to yourself? Is there a video that explains my mind going to the spirit world? How do I get to the spirit world? I will do one. I honestly didn't think people would want that as a video, but I will do one. So Roxanne Miller, thank you for sharing your knowledge. My son Zachary passed away 11/11/17. I'm really sorry to hear that, Roxanne. I so wish I could communicate with him. I would appreciate any advice. Also managing grief. Thank you. Absolutely. So the problem that you're going to have, Roxanne Miller, is that when he's there, and I can assure you that he's there, absolutely he's there. But the problem that you will have is the dilution of your logical mind will tell you that you're dreaming. It will tell you that it can't be real. It will tell you that, oh, you're just being silly. It will do everything but confirm that he's there. So what I did, maybe this is something that you can use for yourself in some way, maybe help you in any kind of way, is that I would go and sit somewhere that I'm really relaxed, you know, so maybe at home or maybe in a park or anywhere, absolutely anywhere. Then in my mind, I want to sit somewhere that I'm really comfortable, somewhere that I'm warm and I'm, you know, I feel safe, and I feel like I'm alone. You know, I feel like this is just me and my reality right now. And I tend to sit near a park with lots of trees and the grass, and everything is just perfect. And I have a bench there. And when it's people that I can't visually look at, I invite them to come and sit the other end of that bench. However, not see them. I just need to feel them. And then in that process of feeling them, I know that they're there. And then gradually my mind will allow me to see them again. But that was a way that I got over it. I needed to feel them first, then I would go and see them. So maybe try that. So we are very close to the anniversary of your son passing away. So once again, I am sorry for your loss. And any advice, there will be a lot of videos maybe that can help you in some way to develop your communication skills, or maybe to help you with grief in some way that you'll find there in all the videos that I've posted. But feel free, Roxanne, to ask your questions. So, misresponsibility. Charlie, does translating clairsentience take longer than clairvoyance or claircognizance? I am primarily clairsentient, and I preserve myself to be so slow compared to when I get the other clairs. And then that is just your setup, the way that you've set your mind up there. It's energy, so it comes in its purity. So let's say this is communication being delivered in a bottle, and then how I translate that is down to me, you know. So how do I want to drink this? I can use it from the medium of the bottle, or I can go into the cupboard and get myself a glass and I can pour it into the glass. So that process is going to take longer, but that was a choice that I made. I can drink it pure, straight out of the bottle, or I can get up and I can make my way to the cupboard where the glasses are, find my glass, put some ice in it, and then come back. That was a choice. And so you get it in its purest form, and therefore you translate it immediately. So if you accept that it takes a little bit longer, then you're maybe overthinking it. Maybe you're trying to understand it yourself. Maybe you're dissecting it a little bit more in that way. Therefore, it's going to take a little bit longer. Just know that it will come as quickly as you want it to. It may take a little bit of practice, because this is what you know. And through that practice of speeding it up, it will be much, much quicker for you. Does your team ever expand, or have you always had the same team from the start? Another great question there, Ray. So I believe it's ever expanding. So the more and more my consciousness opens, the more access I can have. Trying to think of an example. So let's think of Hollywood for a moment. And you know, like when you watch like the FBI films, and there's a big argument going on, and someone pulls rank, and they go, it's above your clearance. You're a rank 4. You're not a rank 7. You haven't got clearance. You don't get clearance to those documents. I feel like the more and more I work, like you would in the FBI or whatever government agency, the more and more you work for that government agency, and the more you strive, and the more cases you present and deal with, the more and more promotion that you're kind of going to get, giving me greater clearance. So the more and more I work, and the more I evolve this conscious mind of mine, my consciousness of mine, the more expansive it gets, therefore letting the team grow. That makes sense, right? Kind of. So Sue, when I connect, it seems to be direct with spirit as opposed as through my guides. I certainly don't hear guides when connecting. Is it easier through guides, or is it just either way? Someone actually asked me that earlier on in the feed there, Sue. So I believe, in my opinion, I believe the guide in its role is to be absent. So in your case, you just go direct to the communicator. So let's give it a visual that we can all understand. So it'd be like a facilitator. It'd be someone that allowed the person in. So some people call that like a gatekeeper, or an angel guide or some way. They facilitate it. Your awareness is not focused on the guide, it's focused on the communicator. And very much so with me. You know, I'm aware of the communicator. However, I am aware that there is someone else there, you know, like there is a team that allow me that communication to take place. So maybe just in your awareness, the role is to be absent, whereas some people have to do it through a guide. So it's neither right, neither wrong. It's just your unique way. So no problems whatsoever. Jez D, hi, you made me laugh and I left the church feeling uplifted last Saturday night. So helping other people through your work was definitely achieved this week. That's brilliant. You made me laugh and I left the church. Oh, you went to the Dem last Saturday. So that's really good that you've jumped on the feed. So that's great. That's good, and you felt uplifted. So we're doing something right along the way there. Then, so that's really kind. Thank you for saying so. Miss Responsibility. I typically feel charged and energized after a reading, like I could run around the block. However, some mediums say they feel drained, especially if you do a sad reading. Why is there a difference? It's their understanding of the mind. So let me just clear that. Let me get my phone on blank screen. I'm going to have to switch screen. See this? So it is, I'm not going to show you my passcode. It says 92% charged. And if I sat here on Facebook constantly, tap, 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 I'll drain the battery. I'll drain the battery because it's just me and the instrument. So that would be the psychic mechanic. Me and the instrument. Me and the instrument. Da, 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 da. However, I can jump up and I can plug that in. And I will have unlimited power source. And no matter how much I tap on that screen and like posts and share and do videos and whatever it is that we do on social media, it's still plugged in. And so it will never lose the 100% because it's fully charged and it's raring to go from the mains. That's exactly what you're doing. You're plugging into the mains. So you are connecting correctly. So that is really, really good to hear. The people that are drained or they're not really, you know, you may do a sad reading, but the spirit world will still be plugged into the mains. So my suspicion is that they are working psychically or they have wired their brain to say that it's tiring when in actual fact you're plugging into an unlimited source of energy. So thank you for your question. That's really, really good, Roxanne. I hope you've learned a little something in some way from the videos. And to be honest, there is nothing that you can really say or do to help when you lose in the way that you have lost. So all we can do is give you the tools to help you communicate, and hopefully you can find a form of healing or communication there for yourself that can help you out. So thank you for being so open with your story. No problem, Miss Responsibility. So unique, intuitive. Would asking questions in your dreams and receiving answers in your dreams be a sign of mediumship or something else? I mean, science don't even know what a dream is, do they? So I think if you go in with the intention of asking questions and you're getting answers, for me, there's going to be a kind of intelligence there in some aspect, isn't there? I mean, we've all had those dreams where you wake up and it was just so real, And then you're left thinking, well, what is real? What is reality? What is going on? So it's one of those for me. I think that if you are in a place where your consciousness is accepting of an answer that doesn't dilute through your wishes and wants, then absolutely. Why not? Is what I say. Why not? So is there any more questions? Are we running out of questions, you lot? Is that what it is? What are we approaching? An hour and a half now, aren't we? So what is that? Yeah, approaching an hour and a half. So I'll let you get an influx of questions if you've got any that need to that are burning your mind and that you want to ask. I'll give you the opportunity. I won't just quickly shut it down and boot off, but the live feed is solely for you guys. It's not about me promoting or look how amazing I am or anything like that. It's your questions, and I give you an answer to my understanding. Maybe I can help you with your own understanding in some way. So this is really for you. So Miss Responsibility, when is the next live feed? I actually don't know at the moment, but I will create it. I will put it in the newsletter that's just been linked below your name there. If you go there and sign up for the newsletter, I will post out a regular live feed when it's going to be. It's always there once I've set a date to do it. And we can set reminders. If you're subscribed to the channel, it can notify you that there's a week to go or that kind of stuff. So I haven't got one down in the diary yet. I'm sure that my diary will present a date and we'll take it from there. But again, this isn't something that you've got to jump on and you've got to have a question ready. I mean, like, you could be doing your housework tomorrow, or all of you that are still in the lobby here, and you can just have a little notepad and you can write it down. I wonder what happens when this happens, and I wonder how that works, and I wonder this, and how on earth does that happen? You can jot it down, and then you can inbox me, you can email them. I would prefer it on the live feed, of course. And then you can go through your list when you're sitting there listening to me answer other people's questions. So it's something that you can prepare for. Like, I don't get a chance to prepare. I think this is immediately off the cuff. So as you answer the question, I need to give an answer immediately. So crazy, really. It's nerve-wracking as well, but never mind. So Roxanne, I am from Indiana. So great, another one from the States. So really, really good that you guys are coming out to watch. So what time is it there, Roxanne? How many hours ahead are we here? It's 9:30 p.m. here in the UK. I can't thank you enough for doing these. So that's very, very kind of you. And I've missed Ray's one. Where is the book? We need another live Q&A together soon. Ray, I'll absolutely do a live Q&A with you. Absolutely. If you're up for it, then I'm definitely up for it. We'll arrange one. We'll get it out there, and we'll do that. The book is still in process, and I've just got to get my head into it again, and you know. It's mixing my story, you know, like my development, my way, and my background, and exercises and things that can help mediums move forward. It's hard to sort of bring the two together, really hard. So I don't know. When is your book on mediumship coming out? Okay, so there's another one that wants a mediumship book. So other than Ray's opinion, like Miss Responsibility, what is it you want from a mediumship book? I mean, I think it's kind of obvious that I can do it. I can write the book. It's no problem. But are you really interested in what I do, or is it just mechanics that you want? And, you know, maybe the videos are better. You know, like there's a Patreon on the YouTube, and if you're gonna spend £10 on a book, would it not make sense to spend $5 on a Patreon that help fund the channel to keep going, where you can get endless answers, and it's kind of designed around you, the viewer, where you drop a question. And I create a video for you with an answer. And if I don't have the answer, my next platform, I go get the answer. Then I come back and I record you a video. for me, it makes sense to maybe not do the book, but to put all my efforts into something like YouTube, which costs a lot of money to do, but a few of you donating $5 once a month, the cost of a coffee, to help keep the channel running. Just, that's my way of thinking there. 4:30, cool. Mechanics, okay. So, well, where's all these come from? So, Karen, Paul says, can you please explain again how the ego gets in the way, i.e. the effects it has? The ego is a nightmare. It's an absolute nightmare. So, the ego will go for the easiest way out every single time. The one that makes it look best. The one that sort of strokes that ego like you're right or you're wrong. So I might be sitting here thinking, oh, I can't say to Karen that I see a like a very special ballerina box. I can't say that. And I know that it's got old jewelry in it, but I can't say that because that'll make me, what if I'm wrong? What if I'm wrong? My ego is now going, but what if you're wrong, Charlie? What if you're wrong? Don't say it. You're going to look an idiot, mate. You're going to look an idiot. Don't do it. You know, like you're trying to look good, but this is going to make you look stupid. It's going to make you look like you don't know what you're doing. And the other part of my mind is going, jewelry box, jewelry box, jewelry box. Ego's saying, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. So we need to shut the ego up, lock it in a box. And then I go, Karen, would you understand an old jewelry box that holds old jewelry? I feel like it's got like a ballerina or something on there with that. And then Karen, in the example, would go, absolutely, absolutely, that is what you needed to be saying to me. Therefore, my ego was silenced, shut up, put away in a box, and I got the communication through. My dad's been gone 3 years. I've asked so many times for him to come to me in a dream, but never once have I dreamt of him or seen him. Why? It's that age-old thing where you are trying to find. So you are looking to see it. So you are looking to see, let me switch screen. You are looking to see the bottle. However, if I just felt him there, like his presence, I can feel that bottle. I don't know if that's in shot. No, it's not. If I just there, it's reversed. This camera, it fries my brain. But I know it's there. I could, you know, like I'm not looking for it. I can't see it, but I can feel it's there. That's enough. And then gradually, the mind will allow me to then look at it. You're looking too hard. And it's so subtle. It is so subtle. Did I miss one there? Oh, there you go. Karen and Paul. Carol has just uploaded ego or spirit video. Ego and egg cups. Oh, egg cups. My God, that is not going away, is it? How do I donate? You go to Patreon. I don't know if Carol can do that. I don't know if they're still there, which is a nightmare. So hold on 1 second. Am I still live? I'm still live, so that's good. Let me quickly get you the link. Copy. And I will post you the link to Patreon here. Boom. That's how to do it. That's where to donate to keep the channel going. And there will be, there's tiers in there, but don't sign up for any of the big tiers, Miss Responsibility, because I'm going to adjust them. I'm going to add them in. But you are more than welcome to contribute to helping the channel going. It's not easy. Just send love and try to ignore knowing there's people that don't know what a good mediumship looks like and pay money to have random generic information. Absolutely, M. Krusco. No problem. Thank you. Thank you. So it looks like we're running towards the end there, didn't it? It looks like we've still got a healthy stream, though. Healthy stream of people, which is nice. I like the I like it that you're all joining me on your evening. Trying to think what else I need to remember. I don't know. Oh, I can't listen to you two, Carol and Ray, banging on about egg cups. It's going to end up the most popular video if you two ain't careful. Yeah, so YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming, as such viewers will experience buffering. Really, really, really sorry about that. I don't know why that's happening. 8:30 here in Oz. Wow. Is everyone getting the live stream okay? Is it all going smoothly, or? I don't know. It's saying it's not going smoothly, but everything else tells me it is. Yes, all okay. Cool. 8:30. Thank you. Thank you. Good. So I'm gonna call it time unless you've got yeah. I don't know what YouTube's playing at. YouTube's winding me up. Cool. So it looks like it's running smooth. I don't know what the stream health's all about. I'll have to show you how this works sometimes. Oh, Miss Responsibility, you're in the States as well. Cool. Got a lot of people on from the States. So all the people in the US, can you please share the channel and share the page and share the videos? You'll do me the world of good out there. So I was thinking about it, Ray. I was thinking about it. So we will have a look. Any private sittings available before Christmas? At the moment, the diary is shut. Only through problems I'm having with those. So in due course, as dates come forward, Lisa, you will see it on my Facebook Medium page come out. You can definitely help me, Ray. You can absolutely help me with a Harlow Dem, and we'll get one sorted out and go from there. Absolutely. So I thank you all for joining me this evening. As always, I can't stress enough how important it is that you like the video, that you comment on the video. I mean, you've all been commenting here for a good hour and a half now. So thank you very much for spending your evening with me and letting me talk about the things that I love talking about and all things mediumship. I can't stress enough that sharing it and engaging with it just really, really helps. So if you're on any other social media, share it to those other social medias and then bring it back to YouTube. YouTube rewards you with the algorithm, which then lets you get put out there. So, and I really, really, really am aiming for 1,000 subscribes within the next sort of 6 to 8 weeks would be lovely. But that means a lot of work for you guys getting it out there. So I thank you in advance. I thank you for all the hard work that you have been through with me. It's great watching this little community grow, and it's going to keep growing with more and more videos. So if you have any video ideas, there is an email there that you would like me to do, then get those in and I will look at it. I'm not promising that I will do them, but I will try and find a way that's presentable so it can help other people. If you've got a problem, then someone else has a problem. So no question is silly. It's about raising awareness for a good standard of mediumship and getting it out there globally at some point. Don't forget to check out the Patreon link that I left there. That will be in the YouTube description. I will get around to tidying all that up. Don't forget to jump onto Facebook Medium page Charlie Kelly also, where you'll be informed of upcoming workshops and seminars. For those in the US, I'm looking more and more at doing an online seminar of sorts. I've just got to get my mind through the logistics. So if any of you are logistically amazing. Please drop me an email and we will see what we can discuss. Good night, everyone. Fantastic night. Absolutely, it was fantastic, and I look forward to the next one. I'll get a date and I'll get it posted so you can all click that reminder. Subscribe if you aren't already. Hit the like button. Leave a comment. Post after the video's uploaded because I do publish it. Get on, share your views, get your comments in all the videos, share all the videos, share the channel, share. So I can't plug it any more than that. Thank you again for joining me, and I will see you all. What's the day today? I don't even know what the day is today. Tuesday. Is it Tuesday? I will see you all tomorrow with a new upload. It will be around midday, say. So look forward to it. See you all then. Ciao for now. And this is the awkward bit where I've got to try and switch this off. So I need to get like an end screen or something, don't I? Which I will organise tomorrow also. So thank you for joining me. Good night. Love you all. Speak to you soon.